She froze mid-step like someone who just got caught rehearsing a lie she wasn't ready to tell. The bell above the coffee shop door jingled behind her, but it might as well have been a gunshot. Julia felt the sudden vertigo of indecision. Should she walk in? Should she turn around and run back into the safe anonymity of the rainy street outside? Her hand hovered over the door, trembling. The coffee shop smelled of cinnamon, roasted beans, and faint vanilla, the kind of smell that promised comfort but delivered nothing when your mind was tangled in knots. She'd been rehearsing this moment for weeks, typing the same lines over and over in her notes app. "We need to talk. I can't keep this in anymore. I like you." Every variation sounded wrong. Too bold, too timid, too much, too little. It all started innocently enough. A simple text from Alex asking if she was free tonight. That single question had cracked open something inside her, something she had buried long ago in the parking lot behind the office one chilly evening. She remembered it with painful clarity. The dim glow of the street lamp, the wet asphalt reflecting the lights, and Alex's face so close she could almost reach out and touch the warmth of it. She had laughed. A nervous, hollow laugh, pretending not to notice the way her pulse had accelerated, pretending that she didn't want to stay there forever. She had told herself it was nothing. That was the lie she had told herself first, the one that had grown like a shadow across the next 2 months. She told herself she was fine, that her feelings were misplaced, that she could control it. But now, as she stood on the threshold of the coffee shop, she realized the lie had grown too big to hold in. Julia slid into a corner booth, her bag heavy on the floor beside her. She stared at her phone as if it might magically rewrite the words she had just sent. "We need to talk." The simplicity of it mocked her. No explanation, no preamble, just the raw, naked truth lurking beneath those 5 words. Minutes ticked by slowly. She tried to focus on the music, the soft saxophone, the gentle piano, but her thoughts refused to cooperate. She kept replaying that night, the one that had changed everything without either of them saying a word. Alex had been quiet, his hands stuffed into his pockets, eyes flicking to the rain-slicked pavement. She had tried to make small talk, to bridge the distance that had suddenly stretched between them, but every word felt heavy, laden with meaning she couldn't express. And then he left. Just like that. She had stayed in her car long after his taillights disappeared, thinking she would never forgive herself for the feelings she hadn't admitted, for the silence she had allowed to grow. Her phone buzzed again. "You okay? Haven't heard from you today." Her chest tightened. Every instinct screamed at her to ignore it, to retreat into silence where she could hide safely, but silence had become unbearable. She typed back slowly, deliberately. "We need to talk." Almost immediately, the ping of the sent message was followed by a wave of panic. She wanted to run, to flee into the gray drizzle outside, to erase her courage before it could betray her. But she couldn't. Not now. Not when the truth had finally found a voice. Then the door opened, and there he was. Alex, brushing past the small line of customers with casual grace, completely unaware of the emotional maelstrom Julia carried inside. He smiled, a little surprised, a little curious, and in that moment, all the rehearsed lines she had prepared evaporated. I got your message," he said, sliding into the seat across from her. Julia's throat was dry. She wanted to start small, maybe with trivial chatter about the weather or the awkwardness of online work, but she couldn't. The truth demanded urgency. I can't keep pretending anymore," she said, voice barely above a whisper. "I've been lying to myself. To everyone, but most of all, to you. Alex's brow furrowed. "Julia, I like you," she blurted, faster than she could stop herself. "I've liked you for months, and I've been terrified to say it because I thought I'd ruin everything, but I can't. I just can't pretend anymore." Silence stretched between them, thick and suffocating. Her hands gripped the edge of the table. Her eyes searched his face, desperate for any hint of mercy, of understanding. Then slowly, deliberately, he reached across the table. Warmth. Reality. "I like you too," he said softly. "I've been scared too, but I've wanted to tell you the same thing since that night in the parking lot." Her body sagged in relief, almost laughing through tears. The lie that had weighed her down for months dissolved in that single moment of honesty. She laughed, trembling, shaky, real. "I can't believe we spent all that time pretending," she said, half to herself, half to him. "Neither can I," he replied, squeezing her hand. "But we're here now. That's what matters. Julia leaned back, letting the tension leave her body in slow, trembling waves. For the first time in months, she felt the weight in her chest lift, not because the world was perfect, but because truth had finally won. And just like that, she moved forward.